Alright, so welcome to part 2 of the building video lesson as part of lesson 8. Now, in part 1 we constructed a model that looked like this, okay? And in part 2 we are going to create some doors and we are going to create some columns, okay? And we're going to turn those columns into components, which will enable us to freely edit one and affect the rest of the columns if we decide to change up the design or structure of the column. So let's start with columns. I am going to go to Tools, go to Dimension, and I'm going to click on this line and pull it out just so that I can see what we're dealing with. 5 feet, almost 6 inches. So we want a column to be that big, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my rectangle tool right here. I'm going to make a small square, okay? And because remember, it needs to fit in here. And I'm going to use the push-pull tool, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to just push it up initially. And then I'm going to enter in 5 feet, and look in the bottom right-hand corner, 5 feet, and then 5 space 13/16th, and then the inch sign, and then I'm going to hit enter. Now I've made this column. If I take a look and go to dimensions, right, that's the same size as this right here, and that's what we want since this is going to be our column, okay? So go ahead and do that. I am going to click on that guide and get rid of it. I don't need this anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's go ahead and I'll make this, let's go, and I want to get, let's see, I'm just going to put it, just make a circle, and I'm going to push it down just a little bit, like so. So this can be our column. If we wanted to, so this is our column. Oh, sorry. And let's do, I was going to create a trim, and let's see, nah. Well, I mean, if you wanted to create a trim around this, you could using the follow me tool. I can also do something like that, and then you can just click on it and then use the follow me tool if you wanted to create a column, you know, get a little fancy with your column, you can. You can also use the arc tool and do that as well, but you want to make sure that this column will fit inside here, okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a component. And so I am going to highlight this, and I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to label it column. Oops, sorry about that. Column, and then I'm going to click create. So now it's a component, and if I make any changes in the future, it'll affect all the columns. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on it, and I'm going to move it. So I'm going to use my move tool. I'm going to click on the corner. Let's say I just want to place it in this endpoint right here, something like that. And from here, I'll copy and paste, Control C, Control V, and I'm just going to space them out. Just let's say right like so, and then maybe I'll do a few more. you know, to be precise, you'd probably want to add guidelines. Copy and paste, and I'm going to put this back in the corner on this one. I know we were right in the corner. Copy and paste. And actually, what we can do is I'm going to create a guide right here. If I click right here and drag it out, like so, and I'm going to click on this one and drag it out, and you can see that it's red, meaning it's going to be parallel. So that way it'll help me place my columns in line with the other ones. So I'm going to click them right here, and I might click on, I think I need to move this one up just a little bit. And like so. So now I have 3 columns, like so. And if you want, you can continue to add columns, but you don't want to run out of real estate. If you want to add a few right here, you can. I think I might just leave it as so. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a door. Okay, so we created columns on the side, and we're going to create a grand door. I messed up right here. I'm going to click on it, and I am going to move that back, right, because they should all be aligned like so. Great. So we're going to make a grand door right here, and I'm going to create guides just so that it's even and centered. And I'm going to click right here, and to find the center point, if you click on the tape measure and drag it across, if you just hover over this line right here, once it turns blue right here, it shows the midpoint. That way, you know that this is the center point. Okay, and then I'll click right here, and let's say I want to do 1 foot, let's say 8 inches. Hit enter, and I'll do the same from this side. Click on here, and I'll just manually type in 1 foot 8 inches. And depending on your size, you know, you might want to make it bigger or smaller, and that's up to you. And from here, I'm going to use the pencil tool, and I'm just going to create something that looks like that. And from here, I can highlight. If I hold down Shift, I'm just going to highlight just these 3, not the whole thing, but just these 3, and use the offset tool, and I can just pull it in a little bit. And then I'm going to use the arc tool, and I'm going to arc from here to here. I'm going to arc it, and then I'm going to hold down Shift and select this section right here. Sorry, I'm going to hold down this section right here and highlight, because I want to use the offset tool and offset it like so. Alright, and then now I can maybe use the translucent to, well, I don't know if I really like that. Maybe green. Okay. And we'll color the rest in. You can color in the rest in later. With this, I can use the push-pull tool, and I can select this and push it out maybe just a little bit. And likewise with this. And with the main door, I'd probably want to use the line tool right here and just create a center line, probably right here, and then just draw it down the center so that you have a center. And then you can add a door handle. You can add some windows, which would probably be nice. But we'll save that for part 3. So today in part 2 we learned about the columns, making them the exact height. We transitioned them to components, and then we also made a grand door, and we can add windows and stuff to that later on in part 3 as well. And we'll also create some windows around the side in part 3 as well.